Our first O'Reilly's Autumn Bird Week was a great success. Photography, and particularly videography, was somewhat challenging, however, with the inclement weather during the early part of the week and some very low light conditions at times. The week was full on and we travelled far, from the rainforest down to the valley and the coast. Some of the best sightings, though, of the more common birds such as the crimson rosella and the king parrots, as always, were found around the guest house grounds. These colourful birds were in abundance. The Lewin's honeyeater was singing loudly, and it's a wonderful sound. Also around the grounds is the white-browed scrub wren, the colourful eastern spinebill, the superb fairy wren, red-browed finches, the Australian brush turkey, the wonga pigeon, the grey shrike thrush, and the ever-present eastern yellow robin, to name but a few. Even the currawong was singing well on a bush beyond the cafe balcony. Much harder to see than expected, though, were the satin and regent's bowerbirds. Years ago we seem to remember there were many more, but this time they seem to need a little help to be seen clearly. We had a great group of participants, from novices such as ourselves through to the very knowledgeable birders and great bird spotters. Our guides were Tim, Duncan and Glenn, and we all had a lot of fun together. There were a number of beautiful birds that could take out the title of Bird Poser of the Week. For me it was definitely the eastern yellow robin. John favoured the cisticola. He definitely looks the part. Or even perhaps the tawny grassbird, who's also posing well. Other contenders could have been the eastern whipbird, seen here early in the mornings, or perhaps the forest kingfisher, catching insects and basking in a sunny afternoon. Lionel won Spotter of the Week as he quickly spotted a jabberoo some distance away across an expanse of water on our coastal trip. Audrey was a close second, though, with her spotting of the striped honeyeater. Probably most, if not all, the group spotted at least one new bird, such as the fairly rare red-browed tree creeper, which was sighted on a gloomy wet Monday. High spot on Monday afternoon was seeing the owlet nightjar, thanks to Duncan. Perhaps because it was such a dark and gloomy day, he chose to sit surveying the woodland from his hole in the tree, so it was a nice pose. Some birds were large and easier to spot in the rainforest foliage, such as the paradise riflebird, the most southern bird of paradise. Not far away from the male, we saw the female paradise riflebird, which is not quite as glossy as the male. The green catbird is part of the bowerbird family. He was no doubt named a catbird, as his call sounds just like a domestic cat, so listen carefully. And the brown cuckoo dove. Of course, the colourful crimson rosellas can also often be seen in the rainforest. Here they can be seen scratching about on the rainforest floor. On the plains there were sightings of the channelled billed cuckoo, and the little bronze cuckoo, as well as a number of other birds that were too far away to photograph. With Tim's help we were able to see both the white-eared monarch and the spectacled monarch. The spectacled monarch particularly is a very handsome looking bird. On the coast we saw lots and lots of whistling ducks. We also saw an Australasian grebe, which is the bird in the water, and it's rather indistinct. It was a long way away. Then there was the little pied cormorant and Australasian darters. We couldn't leave out the Australian pelican. Also the comb-crested jacanas. They're also known as the lotus bird, and apparently the comb colour changes from red to yellow in moments of excitement. It was great to see the white-bellied sea eagle on a tree branch before he flew off. The magpie geese and purple swamp hen were somewhat swamped by the many numbers of feral geese. Then there's the tree that's full of little egrets. We also caught sight of a black-faced cuckoo shrike. En route there were good sightings of wedge-tailed eagles, a kestrel taken through the bus window, a dollar bird also taken through the bus window, and a black-shouldered kite again taken through the bus window. One night saw us seeking the marble frogmouth, but we were not so successful with the sooty owl, so maybe another time. There's a lot of wildlife, including these redneck paddermelons, and just look at these cute pretty-faced wallabies captured en route. A lace monitor was seen resting and also climbing a tree. And a large skink was spotted in the rainforest. On a number of occasions we also spotted Tim's mug of tea, which seemed to be ever present. Smaller rainforest birds included the large-billed scrub wren, the white-browed scrub wren scurrying around on the rainforest floor looking for tasty tidbits. Likewise, the yellow-throated scrub wren was searching for a tasty meal. The pretty rose robin, yellow-rumped thornbill, brown thornbill, Mr. and Mrs. redback fairy wren, welcome swallow, and pale yellow robin. Throughout our rainforest treks we saw and or heard the log runners. They are such busy birds and great fun to watch as they scratch away on the rainforest floor. The male has the white throat and the female the red throat, so they are easily distinguishable. Looks like a juvenile has just arrived to take food from the male. The light was different each time we saw them, from the very early morning overcast and low light conditions through to a sunny midday. Sometimes they were in squabbling mode, making a huge commotion which could be heard throughout the rainforest. Early morning saw many of the group out on the trail of the noisy pitter. On the last morning he obliged us and spent some time hopping about. He's seen here with either the Bassian or russet-tailed thrush. The jury's still out on which it is. Looks like there was a bit of an altercation between the two before they went their separate ways. As it was the last day, we were on the trail of the Albert's lyrebird. En route, this russet-tailed thrush gave us quite a show. Unfortunately, we had to start making tracks for home and didn't get to see the lyrebird that crossed the path in front of the group just as they were about to return to the guest house. Helen and I think Sally also caught a glimpse of him as he went by. Hopefully we'll see him on our next visit. Suffice to say we had a wonderful time, good company, great guides and excellent food. Thank you, O'Reillys. We'll be back.